Right then, let this show get on the way. Hi there. I've recently started running through Pandemonium to farm some symbiants for myself and decided to record this. In here, I'll try out this whole commentating myself thing. We'll see how it goes. If everything goes to plan and my commentating sucks too much, there should be a different audio stream available that you can probably switch to on the video that only has the game sounds, which, if you prefer this, feel free to switch. So as you can see, I'm here with two of my characters. I'm on my Crat and my Shade. And yeah, this has turned out to be quite a good match for running to the Night Heart and looting some symbiants. What you also notice during the course here, before we start, I will switch between the two characters. So I'm not using some multi-boxing setup, so I'm just playing the two, switching between them, which can get a bit hectic, but yeah, it works out, and so you can see how it goes. I will record the whole run, and hopefully I won't die on the way. So first of all, let's see if I have remembered everything. So it's important to use reflect graft here, because I don't have full reflect in the team, of course. Use it on both characters, have my procs running, and also I'm running the Deadman Walking aura on the Crat just for some nano drains, which is important to prevent the whole heals on the Night Heart later. Okay, so first of all we will train through to the first portal boss, and I'll run ahead with the Crat first, just using the walls, but nothing too important here. First of all, just keep the pets on follow so they don't run amok, and yeah, just run through. I'll do this in 2 parts. First of all, I'll stop here in this little corner, and the mobs should all de-aggro, and then I'll run ahead with the Shade as well. I'm running kind of a defensive setup with the Shade, obviously, because you don't want to die, and it doesn't really matter in terms of damage all that much. And right, so now we are here, no mobs aggro, and so it's important to, of course, jump around our little Zodiac here, and I also will wait for a short while until this Berserker here is gone, so hopefully I won't pull him. Go on. Okay. He said, and immediately aggroed him, but this should be fine. So now I will run through here, and I will actually run down here, and nothing really aggroed yet, because it's actually right. So we can calm the pinks, and now we can start. So you have to be a bit careful on the walls around here, because yeah, the mobs tend to aggro through the wall. But yeah, just we kill the blue first, obviously. But I will also kill the pinks here, because yeah, first of all, stupid pets aggro, but keeping this area clear here makes it a bit easier to run back to the portal later in case we have to evacuate. Because then no mobs will be trained up to the portal. when we run back. Okay. He also aggros sometimes, but no big deal. So obviously we want to debuff the mobs as well, but I'm also running the initiative debuff aura on the Shade just for some safety. It obviously doesn't stuck with the Crat debuff, but it's the Crat debuff isn't always in. You can see you resist them quite a bit, and so yeah, just clean them up. And now once we are done with this, we run up here, and we have to clear around the portal boss. As I said, always important keeping the pets on follow as much as possible, and then also warping them, and then just keeping an eye on the portal boss as well. If he aggros, I will calm him with the Shade. Sorry, with the Crat obviously. But he shouldn't. It's always a bit random when aggro happens and when it doesn't. I don't know. Oh well, we will deal with it. So in principle, you also don't have to die most of the time when you're in here, because you can always jump off, and of course the bosses will warp you to them, but yeah, you usually zone out quickly enough that it doesn't really affect you. And both Shade as well as Crat have some nice oh shit buttons, as I call them. Like I have all these evasive stance and evade buffs, but also you have Shade's Caress, which gives you a lot of healing when you need it. And the Crat obviously also has a large adult defense buff. As you can see with the Shade, I start with perking the off-death drains here, just for initial defense. During the bosses I will also be quite conservative with using totemic rites here, because I use it for healing on demand. And yeah, so right, let's do the first boss. So the way is I usually send in the pets, but also run in with the Shade at the same time, and I also put in the so this worked well. And yeah, so if he hits you, he hits you pretty nice. So, and yeah. Now we have all our init debuffs in, and we should be good. Right. Just keep perking, and so the start of the bosses is usually the most dangerous, because yeah, the debuffs are not all in, and so it's usually a good idea to start already with some of the helpers enabled, just for added safety. And sending in the pets first is always better than dying yourself, so that's always a bit of an issue. So as you can see now, I wasn't too conservative here, but I will also keep cycling the perks, because that is an easy way to keep a bit of safety in here. Because as you can see, if he hits you pretty hefty. So for my general perk setup here, you can see it's quite elaborate. So I have the important perk lines here. So this is key 4, key 5 and key 6. So they are not fired all off at the same time. Instead I can quite nicely control when which perk line is used. So and this is important here because otherwise you will run into issues pretty quickly, because you want to, for example, not fire off the healing if you don't have to. So wait a moment. And this is actually quite critical. So yeah, okay, that was a bit spicy because sometimes they just decide to hit you. So as you can see, I used Shade+Crat here just for some immediate healing when I need it. It has 2 minutes cooldown or something, which is quite long, but also not terrible. And I have to really remember not to forget the debuffs here. I'm not really used to commentating while doing this stuff here. But yeah, in my experience, this timid spectral scourge is pretty much the harder boss between the Nightheart and this one here. The Zodiacs are also quite simple. But yeah, so if you kill this one here, then you're usually good to go for the Nightheart as well. So these other random perks here I have on key 7. They are all fired off in sequence, so I tend to avoid it here. Stop hitting me, please. So I had Shade+Crat available as again, but yeah, didn't need it because the boss was already dead. So yeah, great success. And now we can zone through here. All right. Now we have some cleanup again. So these 2 pinks, I'll just pull them and then calm. And then we clear the bridge. There are 2 of these berserkers and 2 blues. And then we come to the most annoying part, in my opinion, about the whole deal. We have to clear the mobs around the Nightheart. And for some reason this also then randomly aggros the Nightheart, which is again typically not a big deal, because so I have basically 1 free pull because I can use last minute negotiations, so the boss calm, but only once. And so if he decides to then aggro again, it sucks a bit. But we can a good thing about this is if the Nightheart aggros, then usually most of the other mobs around him aggro as well, so they get pulled. So oftentimes, yeah, using last-minute negotiations once is enough to just clear the mobs around him. You can also notice that the Crat is pretty passive overall, because yeah, the Shade has to constantly perk, and so it's a bit hard to do with the tubbing between the two, but it's also the reason that I'm running on the Crat. I'm running, where is it? Text audit instead of wrong window proc, because yeah, I'm not nuking anyway, so it doesn't make sense to run it. Okay, so the mobs we have to clear is this pink here. There is one blue behind the Neidhart, and we have to pull this, best case, this spider here, and the other walking pink. We can't really kill the walking pink because he respawns, but we can just calm him, and that'll be enough. Right. So what I'm already doing here is I target the Neidhart with the Crat, and have last-minute negotiations here on the key. So if he aggros, I can yeah, pretty much immediately calm him. So right, this worked well. So as you can see, I just jump onto the little ledge here, and then you can use the aggression modifier to yeah, to pull the mob. So actually waiting until the spider is near the Neidhart, because if the Neidhart aggros, then I can pull the spider and the blue in one go. There's also this other walking blue here. If you stand a bit to the right of the Neidhart from here out. Just a second. Okay, this worked well. If you stand a bit on the right here, then he shouldn't aggro. And pulling him is actually pretty much guaranteed to aggro the Neidhart, because he won't find the bridge entry really nicely and just run around near here. And so you, yeah, almost always pull him. Okay, let's see if we can pull the other blue here. Nope. So, yeah. So we pulled, I calmed him, and I will actually pull the pink. Calm him. Alright, and now we run back. So we have 30 seconds until he wakes up again. But this went overall pretty well. I will have to remember to re-calm the pink at least once, probably. If I use contemplation on him, we can probably kill the Neidhart quickly enough to that it worked out, but yeah, just something to keep in mind. You don't want to end up having him wake up, because that would suck. Alrighty, so now we have to be a bit careful again, so pre-target them. And then I will send in the pets again and run in myself and start debuffing. Alright. I said, stand a bit on the right here, and hopefully the blue one, yeah, he shouldn't really aggro. And now it's just keeping debuffs up, remembering to recalm the pink at some point. I'll also try and remember to recast the debuff aura. I won't run behind TNH here. Or TNH. Just to avoid any potential for aggro. In case you didn't notice, so you can time the layering between the two evade perks quite nicely. Just by looking at the remaining time. So if it's below 30 seconds, then you can fire it off again before the other one expires. So now I can just poke it in again. Yeah. So my focus is really on keeping off-death drains running here. Keeping the debuffs running, which I didn't do. And this is really where, so if you're an idiot like me and forget to recast the innate debuff, having the debuff proc running is just gold. A little bit of lag there. Yeah. Probably during the next Dance of Fools here, I will also recast the Calm on the pink. Yeah, and so the Neidhart can heal himself, but he needs nano for this. And so if I keep my drains running here and also keep the Crat aura running, then this shouldn't be an issue. Right, so put this on and quickly run back here. Heal, heal, heal. Yeah, I got immediately warped back with the Crat, but the Calm still went through, so this all good now. Some reason he's hitting me. So I had to use Shade+Crat here. Because I again forgot to put in the debuffs like an idiot. And you can also see that I use my stims. It's a nice little bit of extra healing, which doesn't suck. Right, 6 minutes. I use my defensive procs on the Shade as well. And as you can see, it's not really complicated. You just have to be a bit careful, and then you don't get hit too much. And so my Shade is relatively well equipped. I'll show you in a bit what my setups really are, but it's also not crazy. And so it should be doable, pretty much. People have also did also done this solo with Shade as well, so you can see that having the Crat really should make it so easy that that you could breeze through here. And so this is on a level that I find easy enough to farm, which was my goal in here. Doing it once is always nice if it's challenging, but this is then not something I want to do on an evening or something, and so I like to just keep it simple, and this pretty much qualifies. And if you're a hoarder of characters, then you pretty much will appreciate getting a lot of the symbiants here, and also the belts, which are helpful. But then again, these are pretty much max out on the belts pretty quickly, so no big deal there. All right. For once, I remembered to put in the debuffs again. Yeah. So it's really not a speed run here. You could do a lot more with the Crat, of course, but that's also not the goal. So if you die and have to run back, it's definitely more of a time loss than not nuking or using specials all the time. Okay. I also, when doing stuff like this, I like to take stock of what I have. So I have Shade+Crat available, I have Evasive Stance available. And if I remind myself what I have and what I don't, then I remember it better in the future. And so doing a bit of damage here, 37k. So if you always wanted to know, then now you know that he has 3.7 million HP. And yeah, so just finish up. We have debuffs just expiring, but it should be fine. And so there we go. And yeah, still 3 minutes on the calm here. And yeah, let's see what the loot is. So great, another spirit I won't use, and actually pretty good haul in terms of the symbiants here. Especially the extermination that everyone wants. So, and actually, yeah, we have an agility and sense belt here. I actually already stopped looting all the quality level 250 plus sims, because it gets too much pretty quickly. But I do collect the lower ones because it's quite useful for alts. Alright, and now next I have to decide who gets the belt, or if I free for all it. But yeah, let's go back to safety first and kill the pink. And the blue one here is none the wiser. Alright, yeah, and that's my run through to the Night Heart. I have a second setup that I use with another Crat I have and a martial artist. So this works also quite well. I use the martial artist with Sats and Stance, or whatever it's called, and it adds enough healing to survive. But this combo is obviously then quite a bit faster. Regarding my setup, so it's pretty much a bit of a mix between defense and offense. Also more of a convenience thing. So I'm running here quite defensively, but I keep the Sniper's Friend, for example, but use the defense HUD. use 2 of the evade NCUs here. Got something nice in sector 42. Yeah, and then on the armor side, so I could, for example, exchange the Dust Brigade Operative with the Bloodsoaked Cloak for a bit more defense, but I lose quite a bit of HP, and so only gain a bit of, so 35 evades, so I don't think that's really worth it, and I don't really want to equip the Dust Brigade Operative stuff every time. So yeah, but I use Slippers of Screaming for quite a bit of evades. And then otherwise, yeah, mostly combined mercenaries and OFAB. And I also could use, for example, the Arbitron Bracer here for, but I chose damage here instead. So yeah, as I said, nothing too fancy. So I'm running with the defense arms here. Actually, I don't have the weakness arm here completed. Currently looking for 12-man spirits to push it up, but yeah, still defense setup here. It helps quite a bit. So as you can see, if the mobs hit you, then you die pretty quickly. So we try to avoid this, and that way we can do this. And yeah, the Krat is I only recently got him to 220, so he is pretty simple setup at the moment. Just yeah, nothing too fancy. And yeah, not even alpha symbiants here, not yet. At least I get some now. But yeah, that's overall it in terms of perks. So as I said, Krat is not really interesting, but for the Shade, I use damage as well. So I still have Piercing Mastery here. Use Totemic Rites for healing, and Spirit Phylactery, or whatever it's pronounced. It's obviously one of the most important things, but yeah, you could think about changing Piercing Mastery out for a bit more support, but yeah, as you can see, it's not really all that necessary. And just wanted to mention one of the most underrated perks here, Exaltation. This is the one I have on all of my bars here. If you don't know, this is actually instant cast, so you don't really block your other perks as well. So I just have it basically wired into all the other perk lines. It instantly executes, no run up like the other perks, as you can see here. And so you can pretty much sprinkle it in whenever. It does a few hundred damage for just one perk, and even has a small life tap here and a very quick recharge. So just for one perk, I think it's really excellent to take it. Yeah, otherwise Acrobat, and actually only 5 in Careful in Battle. So this could be something that you also add in. Maybe sacrifice a bit of damage here, but yeah, I like to have this setup pretty stable overall, and yeah, nothing too fancy here as well. Yeah, so that was all for this run. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully the commentary wasn't too annoying. As I said, I will try to convince YouTube to include the other audio tracks without my jabbering here. And so, yeah, thanks for watching, and have a nice day.